everybody and welcome to another video. I am going to be doing my November wrap up today. It is a little bit late, sorry guys, I was away last week. I went to spend some time with my mum, so thus no video last week, but I am here today. Bear with me, my back isn't very comfortable today, so I may fidget quite a lot during this video. As some of you know, I deal with chronic pain with my spine. It's not behaving this morning, probably because I had to go to the doctor's, which meant I had to drive, which it doesn't like. So, but hey, we got there and we drove, and this is a good thing. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This is my November wrap up. I didn't read that many books in November. I thought I'd read more than I had. So I only actually read 4 books. Well, I say read 3, listened to 1. So one of these was an audiobook on Audible. One of them was a Kindle book, and 2 of them are physical copies that I got from the library. So I've just realised I've left my notes not out where I need them. Bear with me 1 second. Where are my notes? My notes are on my chair. So I keep a diary of everything that I read. Ow, I'm now really uncomfortable. Try that again. So this is my reading journal. So if we find the beginning of November. Now, the first book I read in November took me nearly 2 weeks, which is surprising considering it was this book here. This is Midnight Crossroads by Charlaine Harris. It's not the thickest book in the world. It is, how many pages? Let's have a look. It is, dun, 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 get there in a minute, 305 pages. So not massive, but not small. I think the problem that I had with this is that I've seen the television series prior to reading the book. The book is very similar, and therefore the plot and the dialogue is very similar. And I think because I kind of knew what was going to happen, it didn't grip me the way it would have done if I had read it first. I did enjoy this book. I gave it 4 stars. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 stars. As I say, I think if I'd read it first, I would have really enjoyed it. The character development's really good. The explanation of the different characters, the fact that some of them are supernatural, the skills that they have, how they interlink with each other. I really enjoyed that. It was quite an easy book to read. It wasn't particularly taxing. So yeah, I did quite enjoy this one. It's the first in the series. There are other books, obviously. I probably will read some of the other ones if I can get them from the library, fingers crossed. So yeah, I did enjoy this one. I would recommend it. So the second book that I read, now this is a bit tricky because it's on Audible, and Audible is on my phone, and I am currently filming on my phone, so I don't have a picture of the following book. Sorry guys. I don't know how to do inserts up here of still photographs. That's something I need to learn. I see people do that, but I don't know how to do it. So if anybody knows how you insert a still picture in the corner of a video, leave me a comment. I'd be really, really grateful. It's something that I do want to know how to do. So I'll tell you about the next book. Well, obviously, I've got no pictures of it. It is a non-fiction book. This is called Waking the Witch. It's by Pam Grossman. This book, I loved this book. For those of you that don't know, I do count myself as a witch. I always say I'm a white witch. I follow paganism, particularly influenced by Wicca, which is a particular branch of paganism. But there are lots of others, including Druidism and neo-paganism. I don't quite know what neo-paganism is, I'll be honest, but there's lots of different schools within it as well. So yeah, it's been a long time since I read anything on the kind of witchy vibe. I really enjoyed this book. It's not just about sort of spell casting and you know what you do as a witch. It's more about the history of the witch, and it's how it's been portrayed in the media. There's a big section on Margaret Hamilton, who is my hero. She plays the Wicked Witch of the West in Wizard of Oz. For those of you that don't know, I'm completely obsessed with the Wizard of Oz. I absolutely love that movie. I love Return to Oz. I love the books. Oh, I love that set of books. But yes, it has a chapter about Margaret Hamilton and the role that she played as the Wicked Witch of the West, and her reaction to that role, and also how she felt about other people's reactions to that role. So that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that chapter. There's also lots of references to things like The Craft, the film, various other movies, artists who painted inspired by magic and that kind of thing. It was a really, really interesting book. I'm probably not selling it very well, but I absolutely love this book. It was fantastic. I listened to it on Audible and I wanted to like contact the author and be like, you sound really amazing. I want to be friends with you. She really, really connected with me on a quite a personal level. So I gave this book 5 stars. I would recommend it to anyone who's vaguely interested in the history of the occult and what it is to be a witch. Really enjoyed it. So I've written, just to say what I've written in my little blurb, an excellent non-fiction reflection on the meaning of the word witch in the modern day and a consideration of how witches have been historically portrayed in film, literature, art and history. I really loved this book and how that as a listener I felt connected to the author. Laugh out loud funny in places and sad at others, an absolute gem. It was just brilliant. I really wish I had a picture to show you guys, but it's well worth looking up. I thoroughly recommend her. So that was my second book for November. My third one, I've actually managed to get my Kindle ready for you for this one, was this. This is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. Typical notification comes up just at the wrong minute. There we are. Try again. Sorry about that. This book was epic. I loved this. This was a book that I'd seen on several other people's booktube videos. So, for example, Jacqueline at Weeby Booking has mentioned this book, and I think also I'm not sure if Kendra has or not, but I have seen it in other places. So I thought I'd give it a go. I haven't read anything by Simone St. James before, and I can tell you what, I was not disappointed. I really, really enjoyed this book. It has quite a complex setup. So there are 2 timelines within it, one in approximately the 1950s and one in 2014. The 1950s storyline centres around Idlewild Hall, which is at the time a boarding school for girls who have difficult behaviours, girls who are hard to manage, girls who don't fit into society necessarily. And there's 4 characters specifically that story centres around. And then the 2014 timeline is around a lady who works as a journalist whose sister actually died on the grounds of Idlewild Hall in suspicious circumstances. And there's also another character who's a policeman that the 2 of them are in a relationship. And they sort of like re-examine the cold case. I'm not going to go into too much plot depth because it is quite complex. There's a haunting in there as well with a lady called Mary Hand who haunts Idlewild Hall. It's a complex plot line. It's brilliantly developed. It keeps you in. It keeps you going. You can't put the book down. You just want to know what happens. I think I read this in a couple of days, which for me is pretty quick. I just had to know what happened. There's a lot going on within it. I really enjoyed the fact that there's so much sort of plot to get your teeth into. Really enjoyed it. Loved the haunting element. I mean, me, a book about a haunting, I'm there. I'm in. I love me a haunting, but it wasn't just a ghost story. There's so much more to it. There's also references within the book to one of the characters in the 1950s. She was a prisoner at Ravensbrück concentration camp, which was a concentration camp in Nazi Germany, obviously. That was purely women and children at that camp, and the guards there were female. This is a real true camp. I'm actually doing some research into the camp itself because this sparked an interest for me in the historical side of this. But just to let you know that's in there because I know it can be a bit triggering for some people. I can't say enough good things. I've got another book by Simone St. James, which I can't wait to get to. It's The Haunting of Madeline Clark. That's certainly going to probably be on my December to read list, I should think. 5 stars for The Broken Girls. Like I say, can't really say enough good things about it. Really, really enjoyed it. I've had some good books this November because the next one's a 5-star as well. Again, not an author I'd previously heard of. The last book I read in November was this chunky fella. This is The Lost Village by Neil Spring. This book was an utter surprise. I picked this up in the library on an off chance. I thought it might be interesting. I kind of looked at the blurb on the back and went, yeah, maybe. I was very, very surprised. This is, so good. So again, it's got grounding in a real place. So this is set in the village of Imber, which is on Salisbury Plain, which is owned by the Ministry of Defence in both the book and in real life. It is really there. This centres around, how to put it, so a ghost hunter called Harry Price. Again, he was a real person. The story itself, I don't think, is a real case of his, but he was a real person. He really did go out and ghost hunt in the 1930s, I think. I'm not very good at the date on this one. And also his sorry, his assistant Sarah Gray, not sure if she is a real person, but Sarah has a, did I say Sarah Gray? Is that her name? I'm not sure I've got her name right. It's Miss Gray. I can't remember her first name, but I think it's Sarah. So she has memories of being in Imber with her father when she was young. She has like this one memory of being there and a certain event taking place. It then, you know, you have reference to that particular time. And then this is kind of about the haunting of the village, except is it a haunting? Is it real? Is it not real? It's very spooky. It's very creepy. I loved it. I literally, like, I'd be sat there reading this book. My partner would come in and I would jump because it's so like spine chillingly tingling. Absolutely loved it. Would really, really recommend. I'm definitely going to be looking out for his other books as well. There's lots of plot twists and turns in this. It keeps you interested. I actually couldn't put it down. I pretty much read it, you know, all day, every day for about a week. It's quite a big book for me. It is 452 pages. I read this whilst I was visiting my family, so I couldn't just like read it cover to cover, but it took me a week. But it's so worth it. It's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely going to be reading more by him. It is Sarah Gray. I'm just checking my notes. This I gave 5 stars as well. So considering I didn't read that many books in November, but 2 of them, or 3 of them in fact, are 5 stars. So The Lost Village, The Broken Girls and Waking the Witch were all 5-star reads, and Midnight Crossroads was a 4-star read. So I don't think I can really, really complain. I do have 2 others that I kind of started in November, but I haven't finished them yet. One of them is The Familiars by Stacey something or other. That's on Audible, so I'm listening to that at the moment. I can't look up my Audible, so sorry that I don't know the author's name, but that I'm currently listening to. And I'm also just started Philippa Gregory's Tidelands, so that will be in the next review. I hope that you guys enjoy these videos. Please let me know if you like hearing about what I'm reading and what I'm up to. I will have a December TBR coming up very shortly. And also I have a box book related review. So a what's in the box book related video to come. It's worth waiting for. This one is exciting. I literally like turned into the biggest geek the day I opened this box and just was like grinning from ear to ear. So I really like the box, but I will tell you more about that in another video. I hope that you're all having a good day and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.